All right. We'll just go over Siman. We're in Siman and Zion. Just want to go over Sif Yud Ches. יש מי שאומר לכל מקום שהוזכר שם בדיקה כגון בדרוסה, נפולה, ushvura, any case where they say that after some major accident, something happened and we check the body, and some say v'doras halalu, that was in the time of the Gemara, they could check it. Leka l'mekim abdika shapir. We don't know how to do it. Unless like takanta el shui yubeis chaydish. The only thing we could do is to is to wait yubeis chaydish. So right, we're going to see that the Shach points out, and we just saw yesterday, it was in the Ramah, is it brings at the end that that Yubeis Chodesh is Koveya, according to this is the Shitas Arashba. He says that the whole Makom Shehu Vaday Treifa Afapi Shenishta Yubeis Chodesh Hu Chai Aser. Right. So the Shach points out that that it seems to be a bit of a machlokas over here, because here the Rashba says even by Vaday Drusa and the Fula that Yeves Chodesh works, whereas the Ramah says that it doesn't make a difference. It's also it's aser. So the Shach points out that the Ramah is talking about a case which is Vaday Treifa Mamish, or something that case of the Rashba was the case where the animal had 3 hind legs. All right, it's nothing to discuss. It's chlor treifa, and it lived 12 months. That was the shayla sent to the Rashba. So the Rashba says, that's what the Chacham said, Yubeis Chodesh, and therefore, even though it lived Yubeis Chodesh, it was derech nes, and therefore it's usher. There's no way to matter. It's usher anyway. The case of the Mechaber is a case of Islay Bedika, meaning something happened to it, which very potentially, trace it up, but we have a Bedika, we can do the see. Well, did something really happen?
Because there's a suffix.
It's a little bit of a suffix. There's a little bit of a suffix in it. So therefore, what the Yubeis Chodesh that we're doing is derech Bedika. The case of the Rashba, the case of the Ramah, was that it was treifa and survive Yubeis Chodesh. The question is, okay, fine. Now does that matter it though? So that already everyone seems to agree, like the Rashba, that won't matter it. Shulchan explains the Rambam a bit, whatever, that it could be that not everyone agrees with the Rashba that it's derech nes, but it could be that it's just a miyuta to miyuta. You have singular cases where they taka, live, and in that case it would be not like the Rashba, it would be kosher. It's just just the bedika is going to work because rov of cases. It's we don't have to be choshesh for that miyut that's treifa and it's going to live. You don't have to be choshesh for that. And that seems to be more, but that's a different way of understanding in the Shach that it's cholik on the Rashba. That it's not, if it lives 12 months, then the bedika works. It could be the Rashba agrees. The bedika works because it's there's a miyuta to miyuta, so we don't have to be choshesh for that. There's nafkaminas about whether the animal could be treated. If the animal was treated, the Rashba could say that afal pike, let's say they cut the leg off and they fixed it up and whatever. The Rashba might say it doesn't make a difference if it's vaday treifa. But I guess there are those who are cholkiv on that, and the Tan Nesumem Ches, the Pischei Tshuva in Sif Beis was into the Chachmas Adam and the other Mekilim, neged the Ramah, that Al Kopanim, it's if it does live, it's not necessarily, or you heal it, it's not necessarily also. Macham Hefsed Maruba, different thing, whatever is what to rely on. Al Kopanim, let's just finish reading. Oben a keva, shtisaber v'teleit, or if it's in a keva and she gets pregnant. v'teiled, and she's able to actually give birth. Chein be'of in gomer lahadol kol beitzim shaltina rishona, also by a bird if it lays eggs. V'shasa chafal fiyal, and it waited 21 days. Achar chazar lahatil, or whatever the cycle is, beitzim sheira, sure, that's fine. Chein lo hitila beitzim me'olam, if it never had, it never had any eggs. Imshasa achar shadola b'savik treifos. Chafal fiyal, if it waited 21 days. V'yischil lahatil beitzim sheira, and started laying eggs. It's kosher. Yishon shegam bezman hazeh boikim el shetzarech lizar lahavi kol habikim. But davar, some say you could check. We need to bring. Some are cholik and say you could still check, but you need to bring. There need to be bikim, people who have baseiras and things, whatever that not everyone can check. It's a good question. I don't know. It's a lashon. It means anyone.
Anyone called is opposed to all.
You can't call everyone in the world, but I guess it means that anyone you could get your hands on. You get
multiple kids to weigh in on this?
I guess so. Call Habiki, yeah, anyone in the city who's
anyone or everyone.
It seems to be that you have. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I would think it means whoever, you try to get the top people. Whoever you can, you get a team together, whatever, because that would be the experts. I mean, you bring the experts. That's what it means. There's one expert. There's two experts. I don't know. And Hagava Anu B'Doros Achreinim Ein Bekin. There's no bekim at all. Anything there's a Treifos that you wait 12 months. We're it's gonna get mixed up. Either there's only one, we're not going to keep, we trafe it up and we don't because of chash takola. We don't sell chai to a goy. We kill it before Shemin Yachzor Mikran Yisrael, because maybe he'll sell the animal to Yisrael and to treifa. And Medinas Elu Bechol Makom Shehu Varai Treifa. Also, that's what I discussed before. Sifyu test. We don't see if it definitely was Doris. We're not able to check if it's red, spreading red in its in muscle in the inside. Hanetz eno adam. Some even say that if it was doros from the nates, the aretz doesn't turn red kolkach. In a nikar lefikach eno bedika, and by small birds, if there was drisa by a nates, then it's treif. Chav in rabim heim anidrasim. If there's a bunch of nidrasim, also lahashoyis on your base chodesh. Like the Rama mentioned before, but here the Mechaber means that there's a bunch. The Rama was choshish even for one. But the Rama says that we're choshish even for one for a takala, whereas according to the Mechaber, you need a few of them. Chaf Aleph. Also, limkor drusa or suffix drusa, you're not allowed to sell a drusa or a suffix drusa to a goy. Shemayachsim mikron Yisrael. Mentioned before, Hagav but Treifos she'eni Deah. These are only about Treifos which are not obvious. Now Treifos hayadua v'nikra the call it doesn't if it has an extra leg, if it's missing something, it's something which is obvious, very obvious, then you are allowed to sell it, because even if she sells it to another Jew, obviously it's treif. Alive. V'chein afilu suffix treifos, even if suffix treifos, the yesh machshirin ha-treifos halalu, avagav the kaimel and the also, mikamakom mutter, if there's a tzad, we're machmer to treif it up, But there are those shitas which have sibaruba, different things that you can be savich on. So then mikomakom mutter lemachor lavikachavim. Then in that situation you are allowed to sell it to a goy. V'lechachin shemiyachzim k'reli Yisrael hol ish machshirin. Since even if the Jew was going to go ahead and get the animal, since it's a machlokes, so then it's not okay. So let's say he ate it. Let's say he sold it. People ate it. It's not ish machshirin. It's you don't have to worry so much if as long as it's there are sheets das yachid not samichan, but there's enough. There's machlokes ish machshirin, so therefore it's not you don't have to be choishesh for a takala because it's not going to be full takala. It's going to be worst case scenario, he eats something with a bad hechsher. You're not being not saying you give it to him straight. Here's you give it to a goy, and he's gonna sell it. Then it's already not.
It's not that hechsher, it's just hechsher you don't eat.
Right. Right. Well, here yesh machshirin could be that we're not samich on it b'chlal. I'm bringing it to hechsherim that again we're not talking about you give it to him straight. So you give it to a store, and then you have to be choshesh, and maybe you're talking about a goy also. I'm not saying you. I'm giving a mashal, not getting into the actual halacha ma'aseh with that. Nun ches, the fula asura. If an animal fell. We're choishish for that its internal organs got messed up. Ketza behema shenafla, the behema that fell. Im hayisal medis avagleha shenafla. Right, if it was standing on its feet when it fell, right? I think there's I think there's a discussion of someone. With the cow tipping, what's called cow tipping, where they push the cow over, and cow can't get up. So is that mazik or not? Whatever. So if it fell, in yesh mikresa hamakom shenafla sham yutfachim, if there's yutfachim until from its stomach and down, choshish shemen nisrasko evereha. The choshish again. Yud is a general shear of that we're choshesh of it's a shear of a boar that I could kill someone or I could kill a person, not but kill an animal. That an animal falls into a boar, Yud it's a mazik and it could die. So if it fell Yud Tvachim, choshesh and yisrasko ivereha in haiso shecheves. This galgala v'nafel. Let's say it was lying down already, and it didn't realize it was next to a boar, and it turned over and fell in. So actually, a goiva hamakom asar tfachim. It has to be the boar's asar tfachim, or the hill or whatever. V'hada be'in and goiva asar tfachim dafka b'nafel me'atma. That's where it fell over by itself. Oh, hipilua acherim. Other people pushed it down. Yoda sheroitzim la'apila, and the animal knew that they're trying to push him over. If other people pushed it over and it didn't realize, he knew it was happening, but they didn't hold it. They just gave it a shove and it fell over. Even less than the sort tvachim, we're choshish for it. We'll see because it doesn't because if it's falling and it knows it's falling, it tries to balance itself. We'll see in a few minutes. But not a fight, but it's called. It tenses its feet. It tenses its feet in the ground to steady itself, so it doesn't get damaged. Or something like that. But if it doesn't know, if it falls straight, it doesn't have a chance to do that. Then even pachos l'sar tfachim we're choishish for that it got hurt. We have to check it, obviously. Even by a chicken, and you push a chicken over. Kaparos, if you do kaparos and you throw the chicken, then don't shecht it because it's nafula. right? You have to be careful not to just, if if it fell inside, if you threw it and it fell on its feet, fine. But if you threw it and it fell on its side, then don't give it to bishechted for the anim. Beis of
Does this apply also to the shear of 10 fucking?
oh for an oaf,
For a bird?
yeah, for it's 10 tvachim, yeah. Yeah. Beis of shedarsa adam beraglov, of that someone stepped on, or tarfa l'koiso. Let's say he was doing kapar, slugging kaparos, and whoops, smacked into a wall, or shiratzasu behema, or animal stepped on it, shenechbar adavar kosher, or whacked something else. Chushin though. Hagav v'cheni nafal even or davar kosher al gufo. If something fell on it, something hard fell on it, v'cheni behema who davar sheish lachush. The behemoth, obviously, if something small fell, but a big rock or something fell on it, we have to be choshish also like nefula. The b'dika will help. Well, we'll see what the b'dika is. Gimel nefula sharmar shechoshishin la. That we said we're choshish imlo amda also. If it didn't get up, then it's also lishchayt also ache tisha meis until we see that it's alive. It stays alive for 24 hours. Im shachtam v'sochs vanzeh afilu batkua matzua so shlema. Even if we open it up and we see everything's 100% fine, kol vereh treifa. Because the fula is its own treifa. It's not that the fula is a hechatimtza to the kuva. It's listed in the mission. The fula is its own treifa. So therefore, it's physical trauma, and therefore choshish. If they shechted it, it's lived beis, and then you shechted it, then tzarich labadkin kol chalal kulo v'kadkol harosh ala Yoreh. Then where you were say from the fula, now we're choshish for other issues. Nimelta about Treifos being a Treifos shemanu chachamim. If there's any other Treifos, or sheyisvasik even me'avarin shemifneim, or any internal organ is shredded, nifsadat tzurasoi. Harezu treifa, then it's treif. A field nisvasik even me'avarin shenitlo kosher shera, the toch like the tchol or klios is still if it's still in this case it's could go tchol klios or is a treifa. Chutz bebeis harechem, except for the beis harechem. She'in nisvasek that if it fell and it got ruined, harezu muteres. That's okay. Nasimanim einon tzrichim bedika she'einon nafil b'mechas hasam. If it fell, that's a broken snack or something, or like I don't know, if it's still alive, I don't know, whatever. But chopanim stam, it fell over. And then not choshish that it ruined the simanim, the kon and the veshet. Hagaveim hucha be'eve makom echad. If you know that I got hit with a stone in one spot, ain't tzricha bedika rak neged a makom shehucha sham. You don't have to be choshish. You don't have to be choshish that like we had the case. Where it was pierced. It was punctured. It was stabbed in one spot. You don't have to worry that it got speared somewhere else. Yeah. We also have there's a case in the Pesachei Tshuva talks about a case that it got up and then it got up and then it like sunk down to lie on the floor. So the question is that good? Is that good enough? It stood, but Mitzvah Cheni, it seemed very weak, and it fell down. We'll see Sif Dalet. Im Amda Tochvein Daila V'Bedika. Then we see it's not the Fula. I'm going to do a lav klum. If someone picked it up, it's lav klum. But like I said, it's a suffix if it got up and then lied back down, if that's considered a real amida, or that's just okay. It was mavatal. If it got up, then it's clear that it's not that then the fula can't get up. So, but it lied down again. So then, okay, that's different. You have to check it. But if it was, or no, that if it got up and like went back down, then it's not. Has to be it's standing normally. But if it's not, then it's still considered in the fula. Hey, yesh b'she'omer shekol she'amda v'halcha. It got up and it walked. The field imtza shini be'verah. Even if I don't know, it's something's wrong. Ein choshishin lav, don't have to worry about it, as long as it's walking. Kol she'ein shini matrif, shabrahim, as long as the shini is not matrif, then that's okay. Vav halcha kshera, if it walks, it's kosher. If it's tzricha bedika, it doesn't even need bedika. Alav yishlo shas of so he got up and walked around. Then remurim keshahalcha hiluch yafek kedarka. That's where it's walking normally. Halcha v'hitzolah tzricha bedika. It's wobbly, it's limping, zigzagging, things like that. And it's bedika. Agav yishon danana ida lo kilam bedika. We don't know how to check for nefula. Ve'ein lahati rak b'halcha. It's only mutter without a bedika if it walks normally. Hachinog lo nikbi halcha rak shehachal dal amos. Has to be that walked al amos hiluch yofe, like a nice healthy walk. Kimosha halcha kodem shenaf, like it was walking before. Or kashar behema, if you don't know how this animal walked before, like any other regular animal. Im halcha rakach v'achar kach ena yechol leilech. If it walked and then it suddenly wasn't able to walk anymore, it was weak, it was this. Dina kashar mesukenes, then maybe something happened. You're right, but it's not a treifa. It's not a treifa. Could be mesukenes then, which is mutter to shach, and that's okay. Zayin of shenechbar al pnei and a bird that splattered into the water. Im shot melo kamaso imata lamala, if it's floating. Lumas hamayim choshin, if it's floating normally imata lamala, it's like swimming. In choshin im shot. Mimala lamata, if it's floating upside down, or it's like lying on its back, whatever, and it's not just going with the current chushino, it's arach bedika. Ve'im kodem l'tevin, okash shemahalcheg avamayim, b'shavilo, raise a shot machmas atzmo, ve'in chushino, if there's like, if it's like, Kodem l'tevin or kashim halchim gavamayim b'shavelo, if there's other things floating next to it, it's still considered shat machmasal. We don't say, well, maybe it's being supported by the things floating. We say that it's floating. It's considered floating by itself, and it's fine. Ches davku knafu b'devik b'shas say that someone glued its wings together when it was trapping it, but nechbat. And then it fell down. In shnei knafav nidbeku b'daf shetzad yosabo choshishin. If they're mamish like glued together, tied together with a piece of wood, then choshish. It's arach bedika. V'imlo but nidbak bo. If it wasn't glued, ela echad mehem. Only one of them was glued. Ein choshin shu pareach ma'av v'knaf hasheni. So if it fell down, it's okay. So if your person was talking comparison dropped it. Floated down, and that's okay. Zecharim hamenagchim zeh. If you have rams who are charging each other, the naflu la'aretz choshin lahem, because it doesn't expect to go ahead, and it's not expecting to steady itself. So it's ki'ilu. It's ki'ilu. It's mapil b'vasachas. And therefore will be awesome.
We lost the last 30 seconds of the video.
Okay, fine. So I'll go over.